Hey, I'm Ashley, your host for Battalion's Best in Class, and this is Maurice, the CTO of Battalion AI. We are going to talk about IBM's flash storage test drive. So let's start with the description. Maurice, can you provide that?
Well, first of all, Ashley, thank you for having me again. Yes, I can give you a description of the test drive. So this is basically IBM's their flash system for storage, and what we're offering is basically a 2-week test drive of the system. And that test drive is no cost to the customer. We take care of shipping and handling. We have a simple process. I just need a 2-week lead time on it. Ship you the box. You keep it for 2 weeks to perform your test or POC. We also coordinate the return of the box to our facilities. And that's basically it.
Awesome. Well, okay, so why should customers participate in this drive?
Well, okay, that's a good question. Well, the first thing is you get a chance to experience this in your own data center. You can feel it, you can touch it, you can do whatever you want to do with it. I'm going to say this is a short podcast, but I'm going to say a lot of things about the capabilities of this product. Guess what? You do not have to trust me. You can, get the box yourself and test it out for yourself. You don't have to take my word for it.
Okay, well, that's cool. Also, I want to trust you, so let's build that trust on this podcast.
Okay, all right.
But okay, so I know you just mentioned that there's no cost to the customer, but is that true, or how much does it actually cost?
Well, it's no cost. Like I said, we cover all of the shipping and things of that nature. Now, you do have to make an investment of time, and it's not going to take a lot of time. You have to have your experts, your SMEs perform their test against it. But other than that, there's no cost.
Okay. Well, so can the customer, to get like the full experience, can they have the option to just use or connect to your data center, or how does that work?
Well,
Do they have to do it a different way?
They can connect to our data center. We have a test box available for them, but we really encourage them to use it in house because, like I said, is no how can I put this? Okay, so let's say that you had a Ferrari that you want to test drive. It's just no experience, and you have to get in that car yourself and feel the power of it.
Sign me up. That's awesome. Okay, so you have stated that it's faster, smarter, and more affordable. And I understand, like with IBM, the faster and the smarter, but can you expand on the affordable part?
Well, yes. So we basically have right now we're running some incentives, and we also have an extra incentive that I'll mention at the end of this podcast.
Another one?
Yeah, we got another one. I got approval for it the other day, and we also have 3 different size models. So you have like a medium size, or small, or even a full large enterprise model that we can produce for you. And also on top of that, we also offer what we call a flash system service as a service, meaning you can utilize one of the ones that we have in our cloud, and you can connect to it, and we charge you basically as a per usage, as a total usage.
Okay, explain that a little more to me because I don't really understand that.
So instead of purchasing a full blown box and putting it in your data center, you can purchase a subscription basically to utilize the box in the cloud, and then it'll be on the IBM cloud, and that way it's less expensive for you, and you're only charged for the amount of data that you use within it.
And that also possibly includes the incentive you're going to tell us at the end?
Yes, it does.
Okay, all right. Well, hey, stay tuned, everybody. So there are 3 suggested use cases to test. So I want to go through those 3 that you've mentioned in the past. So number 1, you said because of the virtualized environment, there has to be some kind of data center. So this is a must-have for them, correct?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
But how can you say that? Like, what is it about that they absolutely need?
So it's right now, a lot of companies and data centers utilize a lot of different vendors, a lot of different products and services, like for instance, AWS, Azure, IBM Cloud, Oracle has a cloud, and they're using separate management tools to manage those. With this one, with a virtual environment, you can just manage one environment and it'll take care of all of those other vendors for you automatically. And that's a tremendous time saving value right there.
Yeah, no joke. Okay.
And I have some videos on our website that can explain this a little bit better than I just did.
Oh, well, I mean, it was pretty explanatory, but yes, we have that for everybody, just so you know. But number two, okay, so also explain how the storage actually helps clients with their sustainability.
Oh, another good question. So,
I know. Here we go.
sustainability is getting a lot more attention these days, and especially from a cost savings perspective. With the new versions that have come out this year, some of the models can save you up to at least 29%. Compared to the older models that were in the past. One of their customers even reported a 94% drop in energy utilization. Again, I can give you more information on that if you contact me. You also have 30% less capacity, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it's a smaller box. It takes up less space and it requires less cooling. Every little bit helps. So that is another benefit. Oh, actually, one other thing. So IBM in 2022, they had 99.6% of their products not going to landfills or an incinerator. Now, the way they did that was they offer a recycling program. So on your old products or your old box, you just basically send it back to IBM and we'll recycle it for you. Another thing that we could do is what we consider best in class in data compression. So again, that's another savings where you can use a smaller box to compress your data, which takes up less room and space. And get this, with that compression, you do not lose your performance capabilities either. And also have some other, yeah.
So what would that mean then? Could everyone get a smaller box
Well,
if
yeah,
it's the same capability?
yes,
Oh,
yes,
wow.
yeah.
That's cool. Oh, well, and I say everyone because you have actually mentioned about how companies need to be improving their cybersecurity. So, as a number three, you also have talked about cyber resilience and how important that is. How can that solution play a role?
Yes. Well, first of all, I forgot to mention to you that we can give you a cyber resiliency assessment, and we provide that also free too. But that's another
Awesome.
topic. That's another
Oh
topic.
my gosh, that's so great.
But to answer your question directly, so it also provides safeguards. We can have this air gap where if you get an intrusion, you can have a safe system that they being the intruder can't get to.
Love that.
And this also speeds up your capability to recover. A lot of companies think that backup is basically all you need. It's not just backup; it's also your ability to be able to stand back up. And that's where a lot of the benefits come to play. Because if you look at some studies, it takes some companies weeks to recover, but with
Yeah.
this one, we can reduce that time down to days.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, it's such a pain when something like that happens. So to be able to have that support is
Yeah.
really important.
Yeah, and one other thing, Ashley, I wanted to add to that, we consider ourselves more of a partner with our customers, and we function more like a dealer on their behalf. So one of the things that I need to make sure that I point out is IBM also offers a cyber resiliency guarantee. So
For how long?
well, it guarantees, I can, get you the details of it, but it guarantees that the data that you have stored on these systems will not be compromised.
That is awesome.
Yeah,
I would
yeah,
love more information on that. Maybe we
yeah.
should do a whole nother episode on resilience because that I think is so important these days. And also
It
to know that
is.
that you have someone in your corner and partnering with you to like make sure that you're taken care of and that your company stays safe or can recover without too much loss is so important, I think.
Yeah.
Um, what does the ROI look like?
There are a lot, but I can give you one quick one. So remember when I mentioned that it can save you 29% in your utility cost? So that statistic alone can reduce your ROI within a year. And we have several others that can also contribute to your ROI, but that's just one good, quick example. And one thing that we guarantee that you will receive your ROI within 1 year also. So that was one of the things
Okay.
that I need to mention about that too.
That's great. Okay. Well, we're reaching the end, so I really want to hear about this incentive that you've been teasing in this episode.
Okay, so last month, Battalion AI announced a series of incentives, and to test drive the Flash system, it was not one of the listed incentives. So I've gotten approval to give a $2,000 incentive for test drive on IBM's Flash systems.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So is that for those that want to subscribe? Because I know you mentioned that it was a no cost to the customer earlier on.
Hmm.
But if they're subscribing, that's the 2,000 that goes to them, or how does that work?
Yeah. So if you purchase a box, we give you $2,000 off of the box. If you purchase it as a service, we'll give you $2,000 off of your service also.
Wow. That's amazing. I feel like every time we get the chance to talk about all of this stuff, it just makes it so much clearer why we should be picking IBM products and how they're helping and advancing with all of the technology that we've got going on in the world right now. So thank you so much,
Yeah.
Maurice, for meeting with me. If you want more information, please go to battalionai.com.